We're always teaching and learning from each other. And then we are a community that is diverse on the disciplines, is diverse on our histories, is diverse on who we are. And that forces our ideas to become better. Because I have to explain my idea to a physicist, to an engineer, and a sociologist. Usually that will be a joke, huh? But in this case, it's actually real life. I am from Venezuela originally, and I have a very weird combination of nations in my blood. My dad had to escape Argentina because of political persecution during the first dictatorship of Perón. And my mother, Spanish, she was escaping Spain for the dictator of Franco. I was after the Civil War. I was born in a relatively humble home, very relatively violent town. I was super quiet and super shy. I don't think I have a happy memory on the first 12 years of my life, related to my normal life. It was actually the last year and a half of high school that I found like I was very good at programming. It was just kind of surprising. I never had any programming. It just happened to be that my brain was very well organized for that. The math professor says there's gonna come some former alumni from this high school. He's gonna bring a computer, but he's gonna teach basic, but he can only teach 7 students. We're gonna do a competition of the ones that are interested. Anyone that is interested, he's gonna pick the top 7. He's gonna come this weekend, you have to show up. And the guy explains basic, and he says, well, I need you to solve this problem. The one that solves it with the least amount of instructions will make it. And I remember, I think I spent like 1 minute and 30 seconds. And when I stood up, almost everyone in the classroom started to laugh. So I gave it to the person, and when I'm leaving, the guy turns and yells at me and said, wait a second, how did you solve this in so few instructions? And I said, what do you mean? He said, this works. This is better programming than what I do. You should be teaching the class. So that actually saved me. I went to the best engineering school. I had to take the admissions exam twice because given my grades, they thought that I had copy. Yeah, I was the worst student ever accepted to that university in the first 20 years of life of that university. Imagine. And they said, then when I did the oral exam, they said, you are perfect for this school. Like, you will be a good engineer. And that's how I started. I was planning to go to finance, and the professor of macroeconomics became a very close friend doing the MBA. And, he said, you're wasting your life if you're going to go to finance. You should go to academia, and you should become an economist. And I stayed as his research assistant. He became the Minister of Finance of Venezuela, so I was kind of his advisor at that time. And he was the one that helped me come to MIT as a PhD in economics. So when I was studying, Venezuela had a democracy, so it was very natural to think we're going back. My father-in-law and my father, they both saw the uprising, the coming of Chavez. They said, this is the same as Argentina. And they said, no, don't come back. And they actually kept telling me, just stay there for a while, but because this is going to be a disaster. And I found a job at MIT, so I never left. One of the great things about MIT is that we differentiate success and fulfillment. I realized that there were many of those people that were incredibly successful by the standards of money, power, influence, etc., that they had not achieved fulfillment at all. They were still searching, no? Now, everyone that had achieved fulfillment in some form felt that they were also successful. We emphasize fulfillment. Do something that is meaningful, do something that is important, do something that is for somebody else, which is very rare in an engineering school, it's very rare in a business school, it's very rare in a science department. We want whatever we have in our brain to be actually used and implemented with our hands, but it's always with a purpose of service. And I really love that part.